Okay, now what I want you to do is to cast your mind back. Have a think of that time when you was with friends. You know, you're in good company with people who you can trust. Maybe people you can call your brothers or your sisters, but they're not blood related. And you get to that point where you get an opportunity to play a little bit of a prank. A little bit of a devious and naughty prank that's maybe a little bit harmless but naughty at the same time. And you know it's going to get their backs up and get them worried, or maybe even just cause a bit of confusion and mayhem. I don't know, let's say for the sake of argument you went into their kitchen cupboards and there it was in the cupboard, bold as day, the cling film. Or if you're from America, I think you guys call it saran wrap. So you take this stuff and you go upstairs and you put it over the toilet seat, you put the lid down and you sit and wait as you know your friend is going to go in that bathroom and scream the highest screams of discomfort, disgust, and you know he's going to come charging down the stairs and chase you out of his house. But you also know as well it's going to be taken in good stead and he's going to have a laugh about it once he's calmed down a little bit. Okay, now I just want you to hold that thought in your head. It may not be this whole saran wrap thing, but you kind of get it. We've all got this little devious side where we like to play a joke or two. Now just hold that thought for a moment. In the background there's a gameplay. It's a combat axe and ballistic knife only gameplay. Now this was part of the challenge that was laid down as the gauntlet by you guys in the comments section of my last challenge video. And originally I did have a live come over this, but I decided to scrap it and I decided to upload this as a part of visual and do this commentary over it instead. Don't know why, I just did. But the whole idea behind the challenge was for me to finish top of my team using only combat axes and ballistic knives, and that's it. No knifing, just, I suppose, aerodynamic stuff, and that's what I do. So enjoy the gameplay. It wasn't easy, let me just tell you that much. A bloody turbine as well. I couldn't have picked a worse map to do this challenge on, but I guess it was good fun. Going back to the practical joke side of things. Now, if you haven't already sussed out what I'm going to say next, then maybe I need to give you a bit of a heads up. A couple of days ago, I did a video, and this video was about me just randomly scrolling through the Activision websites and the Infinity Ward websites, and all of a sudden I came across this page that talked about the return of death streaks, or as they were called, war streaks. It was a troll, guys. It was a joke. It was a little practical joke that I laid out for a couple of reasons, okay? And let me just say that before I go on and explain myself, if anybody was offended and hurt and felt like I'd deceived them in a really nasty and unpleasant kind of way, I'm kind of sorry, but at the same token, you really need to lighten up. Some of the comments on that video were just like, you know, they were laughable. There was people telling me to go to fucking hell and I should die, and they can't believe I posted this bullshit, and they're unsubbing. You've just wasted 8 minutes of my life. Unsub. Seriously? Is this the kind of sense of humour that people on YouTube have got? I knew I'd get some flack over it, and I had some help from ATC doing the graphics. I phoned him up and I said, look, I've got this idea. It's going to be a bit of a wind-up. I can't resist doing it. I can't not do it. With all the hype that's going on with Call of Duty Ghosts at the moment, I have to do this. I have to do it. And I know if I pull this and execute it right, it could get to that point where it will be possibly believable. But in the same token, I want to make it as unbelievable as possible. You know, the most extreme death streaks you can ever imagine. And we just sat there having this conversation, which I can only describe as my funniest hour-long conversation I've ever had on a phone in my life. I literally was in floods of tears with laughter. I couldn't breathe as we were talking about backdraft. Backdraft, you know. And I'll go into how it all started, okay? There was me and a friend, and we were sitting down and we were talking about obviously, you know, everybody's talking about Call of Duty Ghosts, and people are like, sort of, oh my god, I'm so excited, I can't wait, and this is going to be the be-all and end-all of everything. And I said to my friend, I said, do you know what? I said, I kind of get it, because I'm in the same boat. I always get excited when a new COD comes out, and I'm getting that kind of sense and feeling that, you know, oh, it's all the butterflies in my stomach, and maybe it's going to be this, and maybe it's going to be that. I said, but realistically, deep down, I'm in my 30s, you get to that kind of age where you're a glass half empty kind of person, you know? You get so fed up of looking forward to things and seeing things in a positive light, you have to kind of rein it in and say, right, what are going to be the negatives with this? It just comes with age, unfortunately. You get a very negative person the older you get. It's like, okay, what's going to be the problem? You know, it's like if somebody phones you up and says, hey, how you doing? I can fix all of your financial problems. When you're younger, you're like, wow, okay, I'm listening. As you get older, it's like, come on then, what's the fucking catch? Tell me what the catch is, otherwise I'm banging the phone down right now. You get stubborn, but we were talking about what we would feel the negatives were that, you know, we really didn't want to see. And my one to him was, okay, apart from the obvious with the lag comp and all the rest of it, you know when a grenade would explode about 600 years away from you and your whole screen would go pink, like a rosé pink colour? They had it in Modern Warfare 2 to a slight degree, and with Modern Warfare 3 they brought it back, but with like, let's throw a tin of Sunblush paint over their fucking faces while they're playing. It just got so bad that you couldn't see, you couldn't understand what was going on. The disorientation thing, the fact that your audio actually goes into deaf mode, so you're struggling to hear. And then that lasts for about a minute, and then all of a sudden you regain your composure, and then somebody shoots you in the back, hit markers you, and then you get pink again. Well, that was my one. I said I really hope that that doesn't come back, or if it does come back, they kind of tone it down a bit and put it more like Treyarch's, if you like, you know, with the sort of arc hit marker that pops up when you get hit. And then he came at me and he said, you know what, he said, they can keep all that. He said, for me, the biggest one I do not want to see is death streaks. Now, I kind of said, well, you know, that's still a bit of a big talking point. It's not really the little things, but you need to be prepared for the fact that death streaks may come back, because we essentially had Last Stand in Call of Duty 4, which was a perk. Now, it was bad. I didn't like Last Stand. I thought it was horrible. I hated anybody who fucking used it. It was the most annoying thing for me about Call of Duty 4. So obviously people complained about it and said it's not fair, it's not right. So what did they do when the next installment came out? They put it as a death streak. So next thing you know, what's happened is instead of you having it as a perk that you have to sacrifice another maybe really valuable perk for, it now becomes something that you can just throw on because you've died too many times. So then when Modern Warfare 3 came out, they brought them back. And if you remember the whole Robert Bowling thing about,
fuck you, Last Stand! Fuck you, Last Stand! Fuck you, Last Stand!
we all thought, wow, well done, Robert. Second chance has gone. That's amazing. You've done a really good thing there. But then they brought it back as a death streak and called it Final Stand again. And in fact made it a little bit worse and thought, you know what, nobody liked people who dropped on the floor in death mode. So this time we will give them an explosive that will have a ridiculous blast radius on it. I said, you're going to understand that when the next one comes out, it's probably going to be a mini nuke. You're going to shoot somebody and they're going to blow up 3/4 of the map. Ba ba ba. Alarm bells start ringing in my head. I've just had a really nasty thought. What if I do a video saying that I've seen this bit of information about death streaks? And I thought it would be really funny. I thought if I executed it well, people may believe it but wouldn't be sure, and it would cause a bit of confusion. But, you know, people essentially would see the funny side of it. And to give a lot of people credit, they kind of did. A lot of people like, this has got to be bullshit and all the rest of it. But then some people like kind of knew it was a joke, but really took it to the extreme of thinking that I'd essentially, I don't know, posted some footage of me throwing a bag of puppies into a river. It was like, come on, it's not, you know, it's not the end of the world. There are worse things going on in the fucking world than somebody putting a fake video up just for shits and giggles. So yeah, a little bit disappointed in human nature, but there you go. And I think essentially what you got to understand is, for those of you who feel that, I don't know, practical jokes are just nothing but harmful, nasty things, I've got a wake-up call for you. When you get out into the big bad world of industry, you'd better be prepared for the fact that this goes on a daily basis, but to a bigger scale. People in industry like to wind you up. They like to play tricks on you, whether it be hiding your tools or, I don't know. I've always worked in construction, and as far as I'm concerned, people used to go into the canteen and find your shoes that you'd taken off and nail gun them to the floor so that you had to take other tools to get your shoes on. You know, things like that. So yeah, it's practical jokes are fine as long as they're not hurting anybody. That's my opinion. So yeah, if it did fool you and it's pissed your week off a little bit, I am sorry. It was intended as a little bit of fun. I hope it can be taken in the context that it was put in. And you know what, if you did fall for it as well at the same time, don't feel bad about it. I put a lot of work into making that look as convincing as I could, and I know it wasn't 100%, but the mind plays tricks on you, and that was it was all meant in good fun, so I hope you're cool with that. Also on a side note, thank you very much to Thunder for the shout out on his video. For those subs of his who've just come over, welcome to the channel. I hope you enjoy your stay. I will do my best to entertain you. And I did tell Thunder after I saw the video, I thought, oh shit, and I sent him a message. I said, look, it was a troll, and, you know, I was playing up to the situation, and he kind of turned around and laughed and said, I had a feeling it might be, and he laughed about it. Anyway, that's me just about done. Hope you enjoyed the gameplay in the background. It was by no means an easy feat, and I will see you on the next video. Take it easy, guys. Look after yourselves. Apocalypse done.